Alright, what's going on, guys? Quick trade recap for the day. So today we took three trades. First one was break even. Second one was a short where we made about $200, and the third one was a long position where we made about $200 again. So we ended the day up $414, leaving the account at about 50,900. So we need about 2,100 more in order to pass the funded account and get our express account. So gonna quick go into why we took what we took. All right, so obviously we've been very bearish for the past few weeks, right? So following that trend, I was kind of bearish coming into the day, considering we had inversed this 4 hour overnight, right? So we disrespected that and we created a new 4 hour imbalance. So we were in this bearish 4 hour right here, and I wanted to see some type of short, right? So my plan was to take a short once previous session highs were swept. So we waited for London session to get swept. And right up here, we get my first short. I don't know. This, like, it wasn't a bad trade, right? By any means. It wasn't a bad trade, but it was kind of rushed, and the second trade was definitely better. But anyway, so boom. We come up here at 10. 10 o'clock comes around. We come up. We sweep these highs, right? And then on the 1 minute, yeah, okay, so then on the 1 minute, we get this nice clean inverse right here. 1 minute inverse, right there. So we get that, and then we're looking for the 1 minute change in state delivery. We get that right here. And just because of the range, we kind of closed pretty low, right? So could I have gotten in down here? Yeah, for sure. But I kind of wanted to see a retracement, and I still got in early. It wasn't the best entry. I wanted to wait till it at least tapped the change state delivery. I got in early. I should have waited, but I didn't. Obviously, if I had waited, it would have tapped it perfectly. It comes up, taps the change of state delivery, and this fair value gap, and rejects perfectly. So this would have been the perfect entry right around here. Didn't get that though. So we're down here. And then when break even at this low, as soon as it swept that, I went break even. Is it a little early? Yes, but at the same time, we had just bounced, so I didn't want to see like another. I just wanted to see it flush, right? And technically speaking, I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is a. This might be a rejection block, and if that's the case, then I'm glad I got out. I don't really trade rejection blocks, but it tapped the large wick, 50% of the wick, and did go up, right? But at this point, we were kind of ranging a little bit. You know what I mean? So, boom, got out break even there. Looking for another trade. Obviously, I'm still short bias at this point. But as you can see, we're kind of getting chopped up. So I'm just waiting for something. This is a nice play. So boom, we come up, we sweep these highs. This is kind of like an order block. It's large, so we're trading in it the whole time basically. But come up, sweep these highs. There's no SMT here, which would have been amazing. Like if this high and this high was SMT, it'd be perfect. But anyway, 3 minute inversion. You could have just taken that right off rip. I did not take that. I've been more trading CISDs, but this was nice to see. So we get the inverse fair value gap and a 3 minute change in state delivery on that candle. I waited for a slight pullback because we closed around down here, so I waited for it to come up a little bit more. So my fill was somewhere around there. 17.4 to 150. 17.4 to 150. Maybe I didn't really wait long enough, but right around there. So a slight pullback. Could I have waited a little bit longer? Yeah, but technically it tapped the change day delivery. I could have waited for it to tap this newly formed fair value gap, and that would have been the best entry. But didn't do that, right? And then break even was these lows. Obviously, it dumped pretty quick, so then it went break even, and I was targeting this 15-minute unfilled gap right here. And so what I did was I only took it with one micro. As soon as it hit that low, it kind of flushed through, right? So then I was already break even. I moved my stop to now in profit. So instead of break even, I moved it down and I trailed it, because if it pulled back, it was gonna take me out at my normal TP spot, right? But I was waiting because it flushed so hard that I was hoping it would continue down. So we put my stop right around here, right around the top of the 15-minute fair value gap that it tapped, in hopes that it would continue down to somewhere down here, maybe the bottom of the new week opening gap, or even previous session lows, or some unfilled gap, right? That's what I was hoping for. Obviously, it started to reverse on us, so it did stop us out at our normal TP spot. Once this flushed a little bit more, I moved it down a tiny bit more, so I squeezed more profit out than if I would have just had it at the 15-minute unfilled gap. So that was nice. That was definitely a good trade. And then at that point, I was kind of done for the day, right? I wasn't really going to force another trade, but then I was grabbing lunch and I see this beautiful play, right? So at this point, I am bullish on the day. We have a bunch of we have a bunch of low resistance liquidity built up. We came down after consolidating, swept out all of this liquidity, tapped this order block, and reversed up, right? So we come down into this 3-minute fair value gap right here. And I was looking for a change in state delivery on this candle. We shot up randomly. We shot up about a lot. We shot up almost 100 points, right? So I didn't want to trade that range, and instead waited for a pullback to the change in state delivery. Obviously it came back, tapped me in, so we have this inverse. We are now delivering from this fair value gap. We're creating higher lows, so bullish structures forming. And I'm not joking when I say this was my stop, and this is how close it was to my stop. Like a point. Ridiculously close. I was risking 150. Usually I risk 250, but I didn't want to give back all my profits for the day. So that happened, created SMT with the lows, which was perfect, gave me some hope. And even if I waited, I could have took this trade. SMT delivering, inverse fair value gap, enter right here, boom, golden. But I got in early on the change of state delivery. And I really wanted to close once I got back to break even, like my emotions were telling me to. Held, this was break even. Once we hit that, I kind of trailed my stop pretty tight at these highs, because that would have been my original TP spot. And it started to stall at this same 3-minute gap over here that we had been respecting for a while. So I trailed stop pretty tight because I didn't want to give anything back if it were to dump. And because, as you can see, multiple times, multiple times, here, and now over here, we're all stopping at this fair value gap. So I was like, nah, I don't want to risk it. So trailed it tight, came back, tapped us out, and after 30 minutes of chopping, it finally broke to the upside and hit. And then news happened, and we're obviously shooting up. We're in a previous new week opening gap, so we'll see what happens tomorrow, but obviously a huge extension to the upside. And that's really it. So those were the trades for the day. Pretty good price action. I loved how I handled my emotions and the trades I took, and that's really about it. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.